So, I actually wanted to review Spider-Verse back when I first saw it in theaters. You know what theaters are, right? They're pretty cool. You can, like, watch the movie on, like, on a big TV and not, like, your phone. But honestly, reviewing Spider-Verse is intimidating because I don't know if you know this, but, like, a lot happens in Spider-Verse. There is so much to talk about, from the animation to the layers of the story to all the characters. Like, it's just like the most movie of any movie that's come out this year. So eventually I settled on, okay, I'll just do videos on different topics from the movie. Shorter videos, right? I like short videos, like nice short videos, so that's what we're doing. And today's topic is the villains of Across the Spider-Verse. Cue like the cool logo or something. So, Across the Spider-Verse has two main villains. One is like the overarching villain for the first half and will come back in the sequel as the main problem, and the other is the main villain of the second half and more of like the central conflict causer of the film. These, of course, are The Spot and Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099. Now, I want to talk about how this movie has two villains. Both have a perfect amount of screen time to establish their deal. Both are very different, both subvert previous villain formulas, and they're just both really good. I don't know, let's talk about that. We'll start with The Spot. He got hit by a bagel. The Spot is sort of a silly little guy at first, kind of just goofing up this heist attempt. Spider-Man doesn't take him very seriously because, I mean, look at him, he's just like really silly and dumb and stupid. What a joke, right? Now, what's immediately interesting about The Spot is that they don't set him up as the big villain of the movie. In fact, he's almost more of like an endearing side character. His attempted heist that goes really badly is very funny and kind of adorable in a way, just cause this dude is trying his best, but he just really sucks at being a bad guy. They also set up his uncontrollable powers that become a big problem later up really well, with him literally struggling to control his powers. They're not really that strong yet, so it's not really a problem, but later, oh lordy, but we'll get there. Anyway, after their fight, the Spot reveals to Spider-Man that he created him, and he created him. I just said the same thing twice. The point is, they created each other. And in this one somewhat funny scene, we learn the truth, that the Spot was the one who brought the spider from the other dimension that turned Miles Morales into Spider-Man in the first place. And when Miles destroyed the Collider, it turned the Spot into a monster. Now, what I think is a funny aspect of this story, and a funny comparison to make, is that the dynamic here is literally the Batman and Joker dynamic in the Lego Batman movie, but taken seriously. The Spot really wants to be Spider-Man's arch nemesis, but Miles plays it off because this guy is a big joke, right? Well, that's where it turned out you were wrong. No, the Spot finds his way into the multiverse, becoming the biggest threat of all time. I love stories where the villains start off as a joke and then become a giant, serious threat by the end of the movie. It's a very compelling arc, and I feel like Disney is going to completely rip it off and do it with every one of their movies for a while because it did really well here. So yeah, the Spot's great. I really love the final confrontation with him too, because unfortunately the Spot does kind of leave halfway through the movie. Mainly so we can wait for him to be the villain next time. But his final battle against Spidey and pals is really something else. Oh, and then when he fuses with the Collider, he gets all cool and sketchy, and it's the animation in this movie is nuts, man. This movie looks so good. It looks so good. Now, however, while the Spot is the big overarching antagonist of the whole trilogy, he's not the main villain of Across the Spider-Verse. No. That title goes to Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2000. I already said his name, didn't I? Now, admittedly, I was pretty overwhelmed when I watched the movie the first time, so I didn't really think much of Miguel O'Hara, but as I've thought about it more, he might be one of the most interesting characters in the film. And yes, by the way, he is a villain. Like, I see people saying, oh, he's an anti-hero, but no. This man is ignoring all common sense for a goal that he can't even prove to be true. he is manipulating everyone around him, intentionally or not, still makes him a bad person, a toxic person, and a villain for all intents and purposes. Now, usually in stories where there's an evil Spider-Man, it's because of the Venom symbiote making them go emo. But in this case, this is an evil Spider-Man born out of resentment of his trauma, which is a far cooler concept in my opinion. This guy lost his daughter and everything, which, of course, as we learn in this movie, is necessary for every Spider-Man to lose somebody important to them. But Miguel takes it to the extreme and makes it his life's mission to make sure every single Spider-Man goes through their canon event. Which is a very dumb meta joke, but I like it anyway, shut up. And this is what makes him such an interesting adversary for Miles, who was not supposed to be Spider-Man in his universe. And of course, the spider that the Spot took was gonna turn somebody to Spider-Man, and now it never can, so that universe is left completely Spider-Man-less. But like, I doubt we have to worry about that. That's not gonna be a problem or anything. But yeah, Miguel is completely right that Miles technically shouldn't exist as Spider-Man. But he's also wrong. He's ignoring that without Miles, the entire multiverse would have collapsed in the first film. Nah, instead he pulls out some top-tier manipulation and blames Miles for everything. That's not cool, Miguel. And that's what I think a lot of people kind of misunderstand about the way this movie wraps up. Miles rejects Miguel's gross philosophy, because Miguel is wrong. Miguel took the bitterness to heart and became a villain, whether he knows it or not. Miles wants to be the hero. He's a good person. His goal in this movie, and his goal next movie, will be to save his dad. And I love the final confrontation between Miles and Miguel, too. It's just really cool, and the dialogue is strong, and it's a great final message to leave Miles with. And it gives Miles the strength he needs to do the hardest thing. I just hope it pays off for him. Bye.